Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber, and this guy shares his story and his wisdom of what he's learned and how he's learned the hard way as to what happens when you are that guy. That nice guy who listens to all the women's problems, but you obviously never get the girl. I'm talking about being her emotional support pillow and basically being taken advantage of by these emotional parasites, as many people call them. And who is that type of guy? The type of guy that many of us unfortunately have been at least some point in our lives when we didn't know any better. And I'd be lying if I didn't say that I wasn't that same type of guy in high school and college. And do you think ever once when I had those girls that I liked, but I didn't have the guts to ask out, and I decided to be the nice guy and be their good friend and just show them how nice I am by listening to all their problems and talk about other guys? Do you think that ever ended with me on top? No pun intended. Never. Not once. You know, oh, you're such a nice guy and blah, blah, blah. And they never had any interest in me. Meanwhile, they'd talk about all their problems, usually other guys, and then go back to the guy, you know. And I learned this the hard way. Many guys have as well. So I'm going to do this video here and go over this guy's little email to show you guys it doesn't go well to not be that guy, or it's not going to go well for you, and save yourself a whole lot of frustration, embarrassment, and looking like pretty much like a total jackass. So he starts off. He says, "Hi there, long-time listener. I've heard several of your videos where you talk about men consoling women, and it usually comes down to a shoulder to cry on or becoming a you-know-what to jump on. However, that's just one side of the coin. I'm here to talk about the other side. There are women who will just use men for their emotional support and have no interest in them whatsoever. And yes, this is a strong beta male trait." It absolutely is a strong beta male trait, and like I said before, when I was younger, guys, I was that guy. Okay, I love to pretend otherwise, but that wouldn't be truthful. Okay, and I learned the hard way, which is now I do videos to teach you guys, particularly younger guys, to not do the things that I did, and learn the hard way so you can save yourself a whole lot of frustration. But right there, yes, there are plenty of women in this world. Women resolve their problems by talking about them. Okay, I'm sure many of you guys have picked this up along the way, especially you guys that have had relationships. Okay, for us guys, when we got problems, when we're stressed, we got things we got to resolve or work out, we keep to ourselves generally. We maybe go for a long drive, go for a walk, hang out by ourselves, whatever, and figure it out ourselves. Women resolve their problems by talking about it, and it makes them feel better and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sure you relationship guys know this. So what I'm talking about here is, for the girls you like, you don't be that guy. Because if you're that guy, guess what? That's all you're ever going to be, is their friend, okay? You stop them right there in their tracks, and you're not going to be that guy they talk to about other dudes, okay? And usually when they start talking about other dudes, it's already too late. I'll be perfectly honest with you. But just to save some trouble, you pretty much just nip it in the bud right there. You're not going to be that guy. Now, the one thing that's different, guys, for you relationship guys, if you're in a relationship with a girl, she's your girlfriend, she's your fiance, or even if she's your wife, if that's what you want, if she's got problems, she's going to want to talk to you about them. So you're obviously going to have to listen. Otherwise, you know, she's going to be your ex-girlfriend or ex-fiance or ex-wife. And maybe that's what you want to be. But in case you don't want that to be the case, you're going to have to listen to her problems, because that's how she resolves them, okay? And sometimes you're not going to want to do it, but ultimately that's part of being in a relationship if that's what you're going to do. This isn't a relationship channel, but I've been in plenty of them, so I'm just giving advice there. And if you got to sit there and nod your head and say, really, and think about baseball or football or your favorite Netflix series to get through it, okay, you got to do what you got to do. But be aware, she may quiz you later. But I'm talking about just simply you like the girl and you figure, I'm going to be her good friend and share how good of a guy I am. That's what you do. That's what I'm talking about here. And it doesn't work out well. He goes on. I'm not going to get into my upbringing, as that's a different story altogether. For all intents and purposes, I didn't start dating until I was 25, and with no male guidance on any level. Well, you know what? Probably at 25, I'm going to assume maybe you were in school studying or on your grind or whatever, or maybe just you were a late bloomer. But when you don't have any male guidance from guys that actually know what they're talking about and have had experience, you're very vulnerable to make the mistakes this guy made, a lot of us. That's why I do this channel. He says, it took me a good 8 years to figure out that some women will eat up support like a goldfish. As long as it's offered, they take it, and if you don't demand anything in return, you won't get anything in return. Right. He nailed that right on the head. Okay, they need that support. They want that guy just to talk to. But notice that guy never gets a shot. They'll talk about their boyfriend and how he did this and how he did that, and they'll cry. And the guy's there thinking, because I've been through their guys. He's there thinking in his mind, all right, that's right, I got a shot with her. No, you don't. The only time you may have a shot, maybe, and this sounds sleazy, is if you happen to be actually with her in person and she's drinking and you can connect the dots what would happen there. But I wouldn't advise that, given the fact that she was drinking and something that could happen. And in today's world, thanks to things like M2 and stuff like that, I wouldn't advise that. And you obviously know what I'm talking about there. But most of the time, it's not going to end well for the guy. He said, I had a female friend told me the reason they whine and cry to me and hook up with other men is because all women want the emotional support and I offer to them for free. Right. That's exactly it. As of this email, I am 41 years old, and boy, have I learned. I don't allow any woman to use me as an emotional support pillow unless those drawers are coming off first. I became so much more successful when I killed the good guy in me. Isn't it unfortunate, guys, that we live in a world where if you are a nice guy, a good guy, supportive, and do all these things and treat a girl well, and you try to be a gentleman and just on many different levels, that either lands you in friend zone or you're permanently there anyway to begin with, right? And that behavior makes you to be at a negative quality. It's really unfortunate. It's warped, to be honest. But I talk about reality in this channel. I'm talking about fantasy land. You may get other people tell you, do this, do that, treat her like the queen, throw your jacket in the puddle in front of her, bring her flowers, tell her how you feel, listen to all her problems, and that'll make a girl like you. Well, never listen to them because they're out of their damn mind and they don't know what they're talking about. And a lot of times it's women. Now, this guy fortunately had a woman that told him, like he said right here, the reason they do it. So, occasionally you might get some girls that have a nugget of knowledge of how things actually are, or will even admit it. So she's being a good friend. But don't listen too much what she has to say. Take it with a grain of salt. He says, being my true self, I came across certain techniques I know helped me out. And here he's going to list these, and I do agree with these. He says, number one, never let a woman talk to you about another man. Now here we go with the sirens again. Yes, never let them talk to you about other dudes. The second they do it, guys, stop them dead in their tracks. Right then and there. And probably at that point it's already too late, because she sees you as that guy she can go to with her problems, not the guy that she's going to be hooking up with later. But stop it dead in the tracks. You're not that guy. Number two, he says, if you want more than friendship from this woman, do not allow her to refer you as a friend. Right. Now, in the beginning, she might refer to you as a friend because, like say you work together. I don't know, let me backtrack. So my mind has gone back to the 90s when you could actually work with a girl and date her. There wouldn't be problems. I say don't date girls you work with. So scratch that part, guys. It was a knee-jerk reaction to the way back to the 90s when things were not as psycho as they are now. But let's say you're acquainted with her at school. Okay, that could be one thing. That could be a little gray area there. But if you're spending enough time with her for whatever reason, and she's referring to you as a friend, I'd be aware of that. Number three, have a very strong and confident flirt game, but not grapey. I'm speaking in code there. Yeah, women love guys that can know how to flirt, and if you're good at that, that's going to draw them to you like a magnet. And it shows that you're not being platonic; it's more on a romantic level. And he says, number four. This is probably the most important role. If all your efforts don't work and you take your you-know-what and go home. Don't settle for friendship because it equates you to listening to all her problems, buying her dinner, and being her Johnny on the spot and having her snuggling up to you when she wants nothing but your emotional support and other men's you-know-whats. You're sitting there like a cuckold beta and her pseudo-girlfriend. Right. Never accept the friendship. If you're interested in a woman and she just says, I just see you as a friend, you're out of there. Don't even waste your time, okay? The best thing you can do is simply say, you don't have to be a jerk about it because that's only going to make their behavior justified. You simply say, hey, I'm not interested in being your friend, hanging out with you and all that type of stuff. I'm interested in dating or whatever word you want to choose. And if you're interested, get in touch with me. And you walk away. And she'll probably try to test you. She'll probably still try to text you and reach out to you and get you to hang out. And so you're going to have to be strong enough to mean what you say and say what you mean, and you're not going to be her buddy or her friend. And she may reach out to you later on and may give you a shot because she actually respected and was turned on by you standing up to her. or you never hear from her again. But do you really want to be that guy that she just strings along and listens to all her problems and BS? Or you may think, okay, fine, I'll just have her as a friend, so maybe she'll hook me up with some of her friends. Well, her friends might be thinking, well, if such and such didn't want this guy, then why would I want him, right? So don't be that guy. And like he said right here, yeah, you're going to be the guy who's never going to get any, and you don't want to be that guy. So just, you walk away, end of story. What the hell else did he say here? He said, yeah, pretty much you're just going to be your emotional support guy, and you don't want to be that, so just don't do that, guys. Don't be that. No friend zone, not for you at all. Don't be that guy. So, all right, guys, this is a quick video. I saw this guy's email come in. It was a very good point. Going to get right to it here. And like I said, guys, I made this mistake when I was younger. And if you did this too, you know you did it. Own up to it, but just don't be that guy and start going for what you want. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.